funk, you break the funk. Break the funk, you break the funk.
Welcome to Cyclone Circus.
Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on.
Cyclone Circus technique is what you need.
Here we come with the original track, we're coming to rap the body, people coming get down, no break the sweat, when easy come and easy go, ready to roll, letting the vibe just stay control over your minute and mind, body and your soul. Then the bass will shake your backbone, as we take it up and take it down, jump around with the Cyclone Circus. On your marks, get ready, get set, get in check. Here we come with the original vibe, so with my line, when I'm upon the mind drive, with the original drum and the bass, not surprise, watch the ride, and turn up the energy vibe. Here we come with the original track, we come make a red, now make a sweat, the party people come make a better certificate, your vibe, that's what I'm alive, when I'm on the Cyclone Circus. Here we go.
Hey guys, I'm going to do Let's Play. This time we're playing Cyclone Circus, as you can tell. So, Cyclone Circus is something that was recommended to me by Insect47, and he wanted me to go ahead and try to play this game, because it's a PAL-only game, by the way. So, you know, this game kind of tries to be like an SSX game, with the whole, you know, announcer thing, style thing, and everything like that. It's very much not like that. It's more like a different game that is worse than that. But right now I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, show you the whole control scheme of this. You can see 3 of the buttons here are trick buttons, also inverted flight, and it's expert control. I believe the tricks and the buttons there with, you know, with each other essentially. So yeah, there are 3 trick buttons, R1, L1, and R2. I fucked it up, didn't I? L2. R2 is the jump or fly button. The way this works is that these are sail cars, so essentially they move by the wind. And in order to actually get any kind of like momentum, you need to use the wind, which not gonna be very great. You can also fly with these by using wings. Luckily the tutorial will tell us how the wind system works, which is awkward, and also how the trick system works and such, which is gonna do it kinda poorly. So first of all, it's gonna tell us how to do the wind control first. So use our default settings. So we'll learn how to, you know, trim the bastard. We use the right analog stick to direct it. You have to trim it to the optimal point, that yellow bar there. If you go too much, it will tip over and blow away. We gotta keep it on the yellow bar. If we go under, we're under trim. If we go over, we're over trimming. We gotta get on the sweet spot. So yeah, the way this works, that our right stick is how we accelerate and brake. If we hold towards us, like hold down on the analog stick, we basically gain speed. However, in order to achieve that balance, we gotta keep on the yellow, which that yellow bar there, when we get to certain speed areas, it's gonna go upward because we're going faster. So we have to, you know, back up it to, you know, keep it on there, as you can tell. So yeah, you push the right stick forward, you stop braking. The X button is also acceleration. However, you can only accelerate like a good bit and then it restarts itself. So don't use the X button. Anyway, now it's time to learn how to jump. The fly is basically disabled here until we actually learn how to fly. However, we jump by holding the R2 button. However, there's one issue. If you hold it for too long, as you can tell, it really drains the bar on the left. Luckily, if we don't hold it, we can get more of it back. So, yeah, over time you can get that little bar there to rise back up. That is essentially our energy, and we are going to need that, especially when it comes to flying. Flying is this game's main way of movement, really, and you really want to get used to flying if you want to do tricks and if you want to maneuver around very well, because a lot of the shortcuts and such and a lot of the jumps really require the flight. So you jump and you press R2 in the middle of the air in order to fly. However, it will really drain the fuck out of your bar. You cannot do it forever. There is a method to using this, which is much more useful than how I'm doing it. But, yeah, as you can tell, this is my first time playing the game. So, you're gonna see how I evolve with this game, how my skill evolves real quickly. So yeah, tricks. R1 and L2 are the trick buttons. And if you do them, you not only get more energy from the points, but you also increase the orange bar, which is how you get your special moves, which the game never tells you how to use the special moves. And how they even work in the first place.
Hey, that's double.
As you can see, if I do, more than one trick in the air, I get a multiplier. Our goal right now is to get 5,000 points, which I just did right there. And the game's going to tell us, let's get a bit of an improvement on the tricks right now by improving it with the tweaking. If you hold the square button while doing these, you end up, changing the color of the bar and you end up getting faster points. Now these animations, these poses are a little bit longer, just a little bit, but ultimately they're going to be the way we're doing tricks. Always hold the square button when you're doing tricks and just do them. Trust me, do not do them without the square button. It is the least rewarding thing to pull off. Get 25,000 points here and you're done. There you go, great tweaking. Next up is the specials. The first special is the flying special. Hold the triangle button and press any of the 3 buttons and you will do a flying trick. Every character has their own flying trick, which is a different animation and name to it. This guy's called Rhoul. Oh, yeah, Rhoul, I believe it's saying. How am I pronouncing it? Sorry. One of his is tail taunting. Also, make sure you don't go overboard or else, yeah, you bail. However, make sure that the animation ends before you land because, well, if you land while the animation's going, you will crash and lose all the points. Another problem is just the fact that the flying tricks eventually make you run out of energy immediately, and you can't do anything else during it. This one is the no flying special trick. The circle button will give you it. They give you double what the flying trick does, except they are apparently a longer animation. Rhoul's one of them is Rock On. If you didn't notice, that was shorter than the flying trick. Now we're ready to do the races. So we're going to do the first race by going into the World Race. World Race is our first main mode, the other one being the Trick Challenge. But in order to upgrade our stats and everything, we do need to go to the World Race. Oh, by the way, by doing the tutorial, we set my difficulty to easy. So that's Rhoul. There's also... There is also... Oh, by the way, here's his car. Here are his stats. Shit speed, shit jump, okay dynamo, and fairly decent stability. Here is Svana.
Don't make me wait too long.
And lastly, here is our third from default, Dasha.
Your orders?
They are all of different nationalities, you can tell. She's Russian. There's also all these other characters like Anesha, Diego, Lacetti, Roy, Kokatsumi, Seamus, and Alara. I'm going to be using all these characters throughout the entire Let's Play, so Rhoul, I'm going to be using him right now. Yeah, he's French. He is the rocker French, apparently. It's a bit weird. Mondo Africana is our first level. And in order for us to even get the rest of the levels, we need to do Mondo Africana. So, let's go ahead, check out what the first level is going to be like, see what the game is going to be like from here on out. And, yeah. And as for the old SSX thing, you'll see it by the announcer who introduced the levels.
Sit straight, hold on to your trim, cause this is no mirage. This is Africa's windiest at its most extreme. Skip through the dunes of Oasis City, stunt your way over the flamingo marshes and penetrate the deep jungle of Mondo Africana. This is extreme motherland experience.
Alright, so there are 2 heats in every one of these races. All we have to do is just win the race, and oh my god, that Sometimes the audio just blows your fucking ears off sometimes from the explosions. It's really shit. Now, there are a few things we need to talk about. One of them is the fact that the game never mentions about the special moves, what that orange bar even does. So for the time being, I don't know what that does. I'm expecting it to, you know, just give me anything by default, which, as you can see, the first thing I get from doing this is this, auto trim. Auto trim will basically automatically move that bar there on the right. EMP is what you think it is, an EMP. It will basically deactivate the racers. It'll make them very slow. They can't fly or what have you. And speed boost. It is essentially a speed boost. You go faster this way and have more control over your steering no matter what. You can also get speed boosts from the collectibles around here, which are these pink star things. They're very similar to the old outro I had for TSK Dump's stream highlights and the streams as well. So yeah, you grab these, you get a boost, and they are always temporary, they'll last a few seconds. You can also find multiplier bonuses. There are the blue ones, and there are the red ones. Blue gives you 2, red gives you 3. There are also wing icons. The wing icons are essentially collectibles that are only in World Race. Collect them, you will get unlocked art. In order for us to get 100%, we'll need to unlock all the art in the game. So that requires us to not only get all gold and everything, but also collecting all of these freaking wings. Which, in every level, there are 4 wing pickups. Also, you're noticing that as I go near these guys, if I am essentially behind them, I end up sucking energy from them. But if I'm in front of them and they're behind me, they suck energy from my orange bar there. You might also notice that another pickup around here is this one, which is like a little yellow coin thing. That will essentially refill your bar for flying and such to full. That's going to be useful in order for these shortcuts to work out. They will appear a good bit in these levels, and you're going to need them, as well as the boost. You're not going to need the multiplier as much, because the way this game works is for the world races, they don't care about your points. You can get a shit ton of points here, don't worry, you can. But there's no purpose to getting points here. Your main goal is to beat the level as fast as possible. As you can tell from the best time thing there. You got the Trek Challenge, score will matter, but right now, the only thing that matters here is how fast you're going to be. So yeah, our goal is to beat all of the best times, which for this one, the best time is 3 minutes 50 seconds. And just to tell you right now, every single trick challenge score, every single one of the highest scores, is 3.5 million by default. Every single level is 3.5 million. They all have the same score. And yeah, the times, they are always different. So they put differences onto the times, but the tricks, oh, they're all the same. As you can see, the fucking air special tricks really suck. They get rid of all your fucking flight time, and they just take a long time to give you 25,000 points. You will see that these circle bundles of tricks are so much better. They give you so much more, and they waste less time. And then you find out another trick in this game they never tells you about that does way more than that. But we'll talk about that later on. We've done the race though, and as you can see, victory pose, I punch the ground, and I pump the air. He's a bit of a, you know, a punk raver essentially. And for doing the first heat, we now go into heat 2.
3, 2,
in order to move on, we need to win a medal in Heat 1 in order to get to Heat 2. And for us to 100% this game, we'll be having to get all gold. So, basically, just get gold in the first heat, then gold in the second heat. This does mean that we have to do the race twice, and nothing changes. The air does not get any harder. In fact, that whole difficulty thing in the options menu, the whole thing we can choose difficulty from easy to hard, no point. No point at all.
auto trim activated.
In case you're wondering, In World Race or race in general, the difficulty is dependent on the track. So on this track, the difficulty is easy, so the AI will also be put on easy. So if the track was on medium, AI is on medium. If the track is on hard, the AI is on hard. Yeah, so the difficulty thing on the options is pointless. It just kind of sucks. Also, as you can tell, that air guitar took for fucking ever, whereas me doing the quote-unquote longer no-fly special trick, the land special trick it's called, even though you're in the air, yeah, that lasted a lot less than the fucking flight tricks. In fact, you'll find that later on in the Let's Play, I don't even use the flight tricks at all, unless I want to show them off. And even then, I kind of forget to show off everyone's tricks. Sorry about that. But, yeah, I think the consensus is pretty much right down right now, where don't use the fucking flight specials, use the ground specials, the land specials. You get more points, and they last less time than the flight ones. And also, make sure to get your combo going once you do have to deal with points, because that combo there is going to be super important, considering the highest scores for every level is like in the millions, and the highest regular score you can get in like one trick is 50,000 points. And these tracks do not last very long. You'll find that every track lasts at least 3 minutes in total, like at default, 3 minutes long. There'll be ones that last longer. I'm telling you right now, if you get used to the tracks and how they work and shit, every track is like an average 3 minutes long. You can basically beat them under 3 minutes, gain like 2.5 at some points, like at least 250. It's pretty much going to get to a point where you're going to really start speedrunning these tracks like it's nothing. However, the AI will get in the way. Another thing that this game likes to do is if they're trailing behind you and they, like, you know, do that thing where they start sucking the energy off of you from behind, for some reason that can also essentially fuck you over. As you can see, from behind, I can knock the AI all over the place. They can easily do the same to me. So all of our cars are weak as shit, and we can be knocked all the way across the map if we wanted to. Like, if the AI felt like it, they can knock me into the fucking out of bounds zone. It really sucks. Which is why I want to stay away from the AI as much as possible, because not only do they suck away the energy for getting specials and shit, they will also just utterly fuck you. Also, another thing is you can pretty much reset yourself by default with the select button. If you do that, if you use select button to reset yourself because you got stuck or whatever, you will end up basically losing most of your energy bar. So, yeah, that sucks. Also, I've now won, and from winning, I have now essentially gotten 2 golds, I get some stat points, and yeah, I got all the wings, I got all the artwork as well, and I get some more artwork for completing the race, and got a new level as well. Here is Rhoul's congratulatory cutscene for winning the race, by the way. I know, it's great, ain't it? But we're not done yet, because on the first few races, there is that thing when we had to unlock the characters, and to unlock characters, you have to get 2 gold medals in races. So, I just got 2 gold medals, which means we now have to fight against Haneska in the same track. So in case you're wondering, for the first few times in this game, you are going to be doing the same track 3 times. The first 2 to actually, you know, progress in the game and get to next level, and a 3rd time to unlock a character. So, yeah, it's a one-on-one race this time, but ultimately it is the exact same thing no matter what. It's just a fucking race. just do the same thing you've been doing the first 2 times. Anyway, another thing I have to bring up is, as you saw near the end of the second track, I did the same trick again, and I ended up getting a message saying, you know, same trick, half the score. You still get the same amount of energy and stuff for that and everything, but yeah, if you do repetitive, you know, same tricks over and over again, not doing different tricks and such, not doing different specials, essentially the game is going to penalize you by halving your score. That sucks if you're doing the trick challenge. In the race, as I've told you, there's no point. So, that little warning there, ignore it. You're fine. You can do the exact same trick for the entire race. You will still get the fucking boost you need. That's all that matters here in the race. Another trick is, how do you gain speed? As I told you, that yellow bar is the sweet spot. You want to hit there in order to get the maximum speed. The maximum speed, by the way, is 82 KTS. I don't know what KTS means, but yeah, it's gonna be essentially, you know, 82, the maximum speed for anybody. Which brings to question the point of the speed. But it does make you go a little bit faster, the speed stat, but yeah, as you can tell, not by much. There is a trick, however, and that trick is that the game tells you to not oversteer, but as you will find later on in the later races, I actually deliberately oversteer, because if you do, you go much faster than if you are essentially going, you know, understeered, or if you're even hitting the yellow mark. So, in the races, if you can control yourself well, usually in straights, if you over trim, you will go faster, and that will benefit you more in the races. Because the faster you go, not only the more further ahead in the game you'll be, but also the shorter time you'll get. As you will find, like, at the end of the Let's Play, essentially, you'll see my records at the end, because you're gonna end up doing these a whole lot of times. You will find that I end up getting records that are just insane, and those were because I was using the over-trimming thing. So yeah, like, over-trim equals more speed, which for races equals bigger win. And as you'll see, I'll eventually stop doing the fucking special flying tricks, because they fucking suck. They really fucking suck. They're unique in every fucking racer here, but they're shit. Don't use them for any reason. And yeah, I beat the race, and I also beat the time. You don't get anything for beating all the times, but hey, might as well get all the records, you know? And for beating this race, we've now unlocked Xindictive, so now we can use her for this. The problem is that every single racer here has separate progression, which means that if I am to essentially, you know, use this other character, I would have to do Mondo Africana again in order to get their stat points. And you are going to need the stat points. Because I can go do Glacial Run of anybody, because that's still on easy. But the AI will have the stats a bit upgraded as well. So,
Hey, here to win some races?
yeah, Xindictive here, decent speed. But if we want to do anything else with any of those other characters, I have to do the first track again before I do the second track. This is gonna get really annoying later on.
I truly am the coolest.
I'm gonna be Svanna next time, so,
I know I can beat them.
next time, we're gonna unlock another character, 2 characters in fact, and we're also gonna get Glacial Run. Done and dusted. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for that.